Okay, let's dive right in. We're going to talk about something we all do, but maybe don't think about too much. Brand loyalty. You know, that specific coffee you have to have or the phone you always buy? Is that just a simple choice? Or is there something way deeper going on? No, really, think about it for a second. The sneakers you always go back to, the car you dream of, you've got a favorite, right? Is it really because it's just, objectively the best one out there? Or is there something else pulling you in, something almost instinctual?
Well, here's the secret. That powerful pull, that loyalty, it's not really about logic. It isn't a choice you're actively making every single day. The truth is, you're in a relationship with that brand, and you might not even realize it.
So, to understand this weird relationship, we can't look at marketing reports or sales charts. Nope, we have to look inside our own heads. The answer is literally wired into our brains.
And this is where it gets super interesting. According to neuroscientists like Dr. Elena Vance, our brains are basically built to be lazy, in a good way. In a world with a million choices for everything, your brain is always looking for a shortcut to conserve energy. Brand loyalty isn't weakness, it's your brain being incredibly efficient.
This all ties into a very real thing called decision fatigue. I mean, can you imagine having to research a new brand of toothpaste or coffee every single time you ran out? It would be exhausting. So your brain just goes, you know what, this one's a safe bet, and latches on to a trusted brand to save all that mental energy.
And get this, the connection goes even deeper. When you see a logo you love, your brain isn't just saying, oh, I know that one. It's a full-on neurological event. It literally activates the exact same parts of your brain that light up when you see a close friend. It's a subconscious hit of safety, trust, and familiarity.
So how in the world do brands build this kind of deep, brain-level trust? Well, it's definitely not by accident. It's a strategy, and it's built on three incredibly powerful psychological pillars. So let's break them down.
First up, identity and tribe. This one's huge. Deep down, we are all wired with this primal need to belong, to be part of a group. And the smartest brands out there, they tap right into this.
Just think about it for a second. When someone buys a Harley-Davidson, are they just buying a motorcycle? No way. They're buying into a tribe of rebels who value freedom. If you're an Apple user, you're signaling to the world that you're part of a group of innovative, creative thinkers. The product stops being just a thing, It becomes a badge, a signal to everyone about who you are.
Okay, that brings us to pillar number 2, the story effect. This is where we go beyond what a product has and get into what a product is. It's about what it represents.
Here's the bottom line. Facts can inform us, but it's the stories that actually persuade us. Any company can throw a bunch of specs and prices at you, but the brands that we really connect with, the ones that build that fierce loyalty, they give us a whole narrative, a mission to believe in. Patagonia isn't just selling you a jacket. They're selling the story of conserving our planet. You stop being just a customer, and you become a believer. And that leads us to our third and final pillar, which is the reward ritual. This one is probably the most sneaky because it gets woven right into our daily lives. Turns out, our brains just absolutely love routine and getting a little treat. This is what's known as the reinforcement loop, and you see it everywhere. So you do your daily thing, right? Like ordering your usual morning coffee. Then you get a predictable little reward. Maybe you scan your loyalty app and see the points add up. Boom. Your brain releases a tiny hit of dopamine. That's the feel-good chemical. And just like that, the habit gets stronger, and the whole ritual feels totally natural and really satisfying.
This quote from a longtime Apple user just nails it. It shows how all three of these pillars, the identity, the story, and the ritual, all weave together. For her, it's not about the tech specs anymore. The idea of switching phones feels like a personal betrayal because the brand is now part of her identity. It feels like they know her because it feels like a real relationship.
But what happens when that relationship, a relationship built on so much emotion and trust, completely shatters? Because when you have a connection this deep, there's a serious, serious downside.
It's something psychologists call the halo effect, in reverse. When a brand you truly love and trust lets you down, maybe there's a huge scandal or a product fails spectacularly, the feeling isn't just disappointment, it's personal, it's intense.
And as Dr. Vance points out, the more emotionally invested you were, the worse the feeling of betrayal is. It feels so much worse than just a simple product messing up. And why is that? Because in your mind, the brand didn't just break a promise. It broke a relationship.
So where does that leave us? What does the future of all this look like? Well, as the world gets more and more automated, that basic human need for real connection, for an identity, for a tribe, that's only going to get stronger. At the end of the day, the takeaway is pretty clear, right? The brands that are really going to win, now and in the future, are the ones who get that they're not just selling stuff. They are architects of tribes. They are incredible storytellers. They are creators of rewarding rituals that become a real part of our lives. They understand that the most powerful loyalty, it isn't bought, it's wired right into the human brain.
So that leaves me with one last question for you. Take a look at the brands you use every single day. Which ones are just choices you make? And which ones are you actually in a relationship with? Really think about it. The answer? Well, it might just surprise you.